Welcome to Finalysis, where the game is analyzed from a fan's perspective with all the thrills and excitements the game of football brings. Finalysis on One Studio by Next Square, becoming the biggest sport talk show. Catch full episodes on Next Square and YouTube.
Awesome. Welcome to another beautiful weekend of football. And this weekend promises to be an amazing one. Why? Because the AFCON 2025-2026 edition is about to kick off this weekend live in Morocco for another beautiful 30 days of football.
I think AFCON, coming back from the last AFCON, is showing the global stage that they are ready to entertain the people. I think it was actually more entertaining than the Euros.
Absolutely, it's always been.
Oh my days. So Morocco is the host nation this time, and a lot of people are tipping them to win, like Ivory Coast did last time on home soil. Their first game is the opening game against Comoros.
I think they would definitely win that game already. So I'll give them a free 3 points for the opener. But like you did say, I think it's become a standard now. African nations are already, there's a mindset in we host, we win. So we host to win. That's the mindset. And I think I tip Morocco because the last World Cup, they were the country we really pushed far from the continent, took us beyond the regular quarterfinal that we second round that we normally would get to. So they did really well. So Cameroon, Morocco. But there are other countries that I'm actually tipping for this finals to win this CAF championship. I think, from my perspective,
Senegal.
It's key.
It is the lineup of the continent. Senegal's coming up with new and exciting players while still incorporating the older generation.
Absolutely.
The likes of Sadio Mane mixed with Iliman Ndiaye. So hopefully they can mesh to, perform and, give the fans the best performances that they possibly can. But I tip South Africa. I think the last AFCON, they really showed people that they are a force to be reckoned with. After many, many years of disappointment, they have finally turned up, even qualifying for the World Cup. Yeah. Hopefully that can lead and continue on into this AFCON. Beautiful. But for now, I think it's just safe to say we're betting for the regular ones, Morocco and Senegal, even just some Cameroon in there.
No. I don't think Cameroon will go that far. I don't think Cameroon and Ghana will go that far. They've been very inconsistent in the last decades for reasons I don't know. And oftentimes it could be with the management or how the coaches are trying to manage the players. And sometimes big egos, we see it happen. One thing I think will happen in this AFCON is that Ivory Coast will want to defend their title. They did really well last time when they hosted. Ivory Coast will want to defend the title. Morocco, with the ambition to host and win, will want to do that. And of course, Senegal will want to prove a point. Because I've watched the friendlies that a lot of African countries have played in preparation towards the World Cup and the AFCON. Senegal's played England and they beat England, right? They played Brazil. Of course, Brazil beat them, but they did play a good game. It was a proper good game. So I think they're measuring up with what's class and what standard football matches, and they want to play at that highest level, and that's what I'm enjoying with them. Nigeria would have been a team to watch. That's a star-studded team if you look at it in quote. But the problem with the Nigerian team is, the cohesion within the team and how the coach manages them has been a big problem. Coupled with the fact with the NFF and the NFA's problem and all of that, the Football Association problem there can also have its own impact on the team's performance. But like you likely said, South Africa would be one of the countries with tip. We want to see them perform because they got a lot of youngsters, and these youngsters have got the talent to be the very best in the continent. But don't joke, DRC played a very beautiful game when they played that qualifier against Nigeria. So I also would tip them for one of the team to make a big, significant impact.
I think we all can respect the quality of Nigeria's starting 11. I feel like Nigeria's starting 11 is the only place that can possibly, and is the only starting 11 that could possibly rival Senegal's one, even being better than it. And hopefully it can just come to that point where they're just better.
All right, so with Nigeria being led by Victor Osimhen and the likes of Calvin Bassey, Ademola Lookman, just look at it. we've actually not even talked about Egypt. Egypt is another team with Mohamed Salah and all the good players. So the AFCON is definitely going to be a thrilling feature, a thrilling excitement event to watch this 1 month. 1 month of holiday for some of us while at home, chilling for the Christmas end of the year. But for these guys, they're going to be giving us the best excitement we can ever think about. When we come back, we will be discussing the rest of the games for this weekend.
Okay, welcome to another game week with Finalysis, where the fans talk like they're the managers. Hopefully hopefully we can enjoy another game week, another special one. Let's dive deep into the Premier League.
Absolutely. I mean, the Premier League is every weekend gives us the chews, and of course the scares for some of the clubs and the fans for Arsenal, who are currently top in the league, whose only prayer on the altar is that they win this league for this season. I mean, in the last 25 years, Arsenal never won this title, and it's looking like they're getting closer to it. But the last two games that Arsenal has played has been quite
shaky to say the least.
I mean,
The Premier League table is looking like Arsenal, Man City coming back, trailing their lead. Aston Villa hopefully having a spectacular season. Even beating Arsenal to get to that position. And Chelsea, making top four, even though they were second and potentially in the title race just a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully they could still, edge to still come back into that race. And then, the bottom tier league, the bottom tier table, bottom tier clubs, honestly, are West Ham, Burnley, and Wolves. Wolves only getting 2 points so far in this 16 matches.
So it's all actually obvious and clear enough. Wolves is going to be relegated.
Yeah.
All right. Wolves will be going the way it's looking, but you never can tell. Miracles don't happen. But the last game Arsenal played with Wolves, 3 goals in that game, and Arsenal
didn't score one.
Look like they never scored 1 goal themselves.
Yeah.
So, but what do you think is really going on? I've read some messages about complaints that Arteta is not playing the likes of Eze in the right position where he can create chances. That every time Eze is played towards the left, where he's not given that free chance to roam and dictate the game. You don't get the best of him.
I honestly think that with a club like Arsenal, one of the best things, one of the best components of the squad is the rotation. And if I'm being completely honest, I understand it's okay to play players in different games just to get the feel of it, not to play the entire senior team, but to play some key players. But the likes of Saka and Eze honestly should not be touching a pitch against Wolves. There should have been some secondary players that they could have played and trusted for them to win that game. And honestly, I think Eze, he just had a bad game, and it's okay. It's okay for players to have such bad games. The likes of Ronaldo played in midfield, wing, and striker just to see where the water's tested, and we can all say he was good in those positions. Just some bad games do happen, but I think Eze's best position would probably be on the wing or even possibly a 10.
I think a 10, so that he has the compass of the entire game and he's able to dictate the game from where he's having an overview, a proper view of the positioning of each of the players. And those passes he makes, makes him one of the most critical players Arsenal needs this season. But beyond all that, I think what I loved about Arsenal is whether those goals were all own goals from Wolves and Cole, the end point is that they won. I think the best team, they're never going to have those, flamboyant games all the time. But the fact that the consciousness and the willingness to win a game at all costs is important, and they've managed to do that in the last 2 games. And I think that is a plus for them. Remember, there's always been this common saying, and I think Arsenal just needs 2 more weeks to prove every one of us wrong. We've always seen Arsenal that before December they are top 4, and by December they are off grid. But this time around they've managed to maintain. This is already 19th of December. This weekend will be 2021, and so we're going to see Arsenal cross over into the new year, possibly the top in the table. I want to see them do that. And like you said, Aston Villa, another team that is really coming off and doing an amazing thing. When the season started, nobody saw Aston Villa as a team because they had real big issues. When the season started, they lost a lot of games. At some point, they were like 13 or 14 on the table. And look at where they are now.
I think, Aston Villa, there's that drive to keep on doing better. It's that drive to just, be better. I think what the coach is doing with the players is just really, really good. And hopefully they can just bring the best out of them. And just to glide over the top 4 and just an overall summary, I think that Man City are just really turning up with, of course, the goal merchant, which is Erling Haaland, and one of their best players after the departure of KDB is coming back. And I think with the lackluster season he had last season, people would just forget the amazing player that Phil Foden is.
Yeah.
And hopefully, we can come back and win the title for Man City. They're not trailing off by very far. All it takes for them now is for Arsenal to lose and for them to win. And the league, how that's going.
Absolutely.
Pep Guardiola's system never fails.
I see. Arteta's got a lot of job. The players might be scared now, and I think it's a mentality thing, because immediately they lost that game against Aston Villa, they look like a team that were beaten down. But they need to get back their focus and believe in themselves again. Arsenal this season they've done pretty well, and they can keep doing well as the game goes on. So tell us, what would be the highlight game for this weekend? What do you think?
That's a very, very tough one.
I think the Newcastle-Chelsea match would be another one.
Depending on how Chelsea Chelsea want to turn up to that game and their lineups. You've seen that Chelsea at times can play very risky lineups, and I just don't think that at the current time they can rival Newcastle. Hopefully I am wrong as a Chelsea fan, but as the truth plays out, Menzo Maresca has in December put a shaky Chelsea team, but coming off of the Everton game, we are seeing the likes of Cole Palmer back, scoring goals, banging in the nets, and strengthening our defense, moving from defense up until offense with Reece James, showing players that he can do multiple positions at once. Hopefully he doesn't get injured while doing it.
All right, so we want to see this weekend treat on the Premier League, and we're definitely going to be seeing the result coming in. We're going to see between Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We're going to be having an exciting game of football. When we come back, we'll touch on the La Liga. Join us daily on Might, now showing on Nesquare.